disrupting other students. And I realized that I couldn't live with myself if I was conveying a message that, in effect, was smothering who she was as a person. And so, it's about choices. It's not easy. Self-actualization is not easy. And supporting other people who are in the midst of it is not easy. But it really is about, it's one of those moments. Michael Jackson sings about man in the mirror. Like, who are we? It's in these moments we decide and we determine who are we and who are we going to be.
No doubt. You mentioned, you never stifling your daughter's desire to write. I remember, my dad and I have not always seen eye to eye, as most sons and fathers do not see eye to eye, especially as we get older. But the one thing, I can tell you 200 things that my dad has told me that I hold, just that I can remember. And there's 2,000 more that he's told me that I probably have remember on some level. But the thing he's always said, my whole life, even when we were in conflict about how I was working, where I was working, what I was doing, how much I was making, all of that, he always said, he said, son, never stop writing. No matter what you do, no matter what you do, never stop writing. And I never have. But that's, that's part, I think that's one of the prime directives to use a term of a parent, is to discover what your child,
yes, indeed,
their gift is, what they are gifted to do, what they are born to do, what God has endowed them to do, and to encourage that and create an environment, a context for them to be successful at that.
Yes, I believe that as well. It's this wonderful book by Bell Hooks called Salvation, and it's come out a while back, but it goes into the legacy of slavery and its impact on our relationships as Black people, our art, our liberation movements, how we parent, and just those fundamental messages that shape how we go out into the larger world, and how our decision to kind of break these loops determines whether or not we're going to be successful. And you hear it all the time where, people, especially people who have lived in inner cities and want to do better, to come back to the city and change it for the better. But in so many of, I don't want to name names, but so many people that we have seen as being freedom fighters, and then somehow they wind up in positions of leadership where they're no longer seem to be advocating in a way that
called sellouts.
Right. Well, I
just cut it.
but so what is happening? That's the question. Is like, what is happening? Is there some type of Stepford wife thing happening, where it's Manchurian Candidate, where there be is it that dramatic, or is it really that at some point they made the decision to say, this is not who I am, or it's not worth fighting for? And I think a lot of times it's because it is really hard when you are trying to self-actualize and affirm yourself in an environment that is continuously telling you or punishing you for staying the course. Then sometimes it's easier to, what you say, sell out, or to not look out for the benefit of those around you. So I do have some tips. It's not all. This is supposed to be inspirational.
But we got it. Then we got it. This is to be continued.
Okay.
We're gonna bring you back, and you just laid it out.
Okay.
The first time.
That's
Next
right.
time, then we're gonna go ahead and give the people some light and show them how, or at least guide them, give them some suggestions on how to get to that place of self-actualization. So we'll bring you back.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Khadijah Ali-Coleman, the Creative Midwife. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, all of that to you.
Thank you, Sean. Same to you.
All right, we'll see you next year.
All right.